PSG are trying to hijack the Matthijs de Ligt to Manchester United transfer. Will INEOS sell Marcus Rashford this summer? And a huge blow in the likelihood of Harry Maguire leaving the club this summer. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Let's try and see 600 likes on this evening's show. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day at 8:30 a.m, 1:30 p.m. and also 6 p.m. So if this is your first time watching, make sure you subscribe, get involved for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Okay, let's start the show off by talking about Harry Maguire then. So I think we can all agree that Harry Maguire is a player that we should be looking at moving on. Would everybody agree with that? Let me know if you disagree, but I imagine 90% of people watching today think Harry Maguire should be sold. You know what? Let's do a poll, shall we? Why not? Should United sell Maguire? There we go. The poll set up. You can get involved in that. Let me know in the comment section, should Harry Maguire be sold? Now, the reason I bring this up is, obviously, we know that West Ham have a long-standing interest in Maguire. They tried to sign him last summer. They had a bid accepted of £25 million, but Harry Maguire refused to go. Now, there was a hope within the fan base that West Ham would come back in for Harry Maguire. There was a belief that they still wanted him, but there is some bad news. West Ham in the last hour have just agreed a deal to sign Max Kilman, who obviously is a centre-back, plays in the same position, currently plays his football for Wolves, 27 years of age. We've got the official confirmation from Fabrizio Romano. We've got the here we go. We've got the Sky Sports saying that he's doing his medical. Max Kilman will be the new centre-back for West Ham, £40 million. Now, this probably means that Harry Maguire doesn't have any options. We know that apparently Italian clubs are interested in him, but as it stands, West Ham were the most likely option to come back in for Harry Maguire. Obviously, they've got a new manager, don't they? We don't know whether the manager necessarily wanted them. That's a question for another day. But yeah, Harry Maguire to West Ham is not going to happen, unfortunately. They've just signed this Max Kilman guy, who is a very, very good centre-back. He's definitely better than Maguire. I think they've definitely, done a much better job than if they'd have gone for Harry Maguire, Yeah, it would be better if Harry Maguire did leave this summer, because if we don't sell him now, we're not going to get anything for him. He's got 1 year left of his contract. Remind yourselves of that. This time next year, Harry Maguire will be a free agent. Harry Maguire will be available to move wherever he wants for no money. We have two options. Either we continue paying him 200 grand a week for the next year, which is absolutely crazy money. I know it's not his fault. I know it was, Ed Woodward who gave him that stupid wage. But we pay him his 200k a week for the next year, which is about £10 million. And then at the end of next year, he'll go for free in June. This time next year, he'll be a free agent. His contract expires on June the 30th, 2025. So literally under a year away now. It's a frustrating situation, and the Harry Maguire to Manchester United deal is always going to be looked as a poor one. Let's be honest. Everyone's going to always laugh at us when they talk about Maguire. We paid £80 million for him, and I don't think at any point he's ever lived up to that price tag. Again, he didn't decide his price tag. Man United was stupid enough to pay it, but yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with Harry Maguire. Hopefully, someone else comes back in for him. Hopefully, another club. Like Everton, I imagine, like that would be the best option. If we can get Everton to buy Harry Maguire, there is some stories this evening that apparently Everton are interested in him. If we can send Harry Maguire to Everton and bring Jared Branthwaite to Manchester United, I think that would be an incredible bit of business. It's just whether we can convince Everton to do that. Apparently Everton are interested in him. He would be absolutely perfect in a Sean Dyche team. Imagine Harry Maguire playing for Sean Dyche. It would be a match made in heaven. So yeah, hopefully we can get that one done. Obviously, Everton are in a pretty difficult situation financially at the moment. So I don't imagine, they'd want to spend any money on Maguire. It would be a simple case of us sending Maguire to Everton and then us paying maybe 30-40 million for Jared Branthwaite, something like that. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Obviously, get involved in the poll. Let me know your thoughts on Harry Maguire. Should he be kept at the club? Should he be moved on? Let me know what your thoughts are. But as it stands, at the point of recording this video, West Ham have left the race to sign Harry Maguire. They've signed Max Kilman, and Harry Maguire will not be going to West Ham. So that's a big blow, because I did really, really hope that West Ham would come back in, offer us 25 million, and I think Harry Maguire would have gone, to be honest, because with a year left on his contract, Harry Maguire needs to start thinking about his future, right? I said this on the show this morning. What happens if Harry Maguire suffers a really bad injury this season? Even if he's a free agent, nobody's going to take him. So he will be looking at it now thinking, what's best for my family? What's best for my future? Because 1 year on 200 grand a week is not as good as 4 years on 150 grand a week, is it? It's simple maths. So yeah, he's still in the England squad. Obviously, he's injured at the moment. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on Harry Maguire as and when I get more news on that. We've got over 500 people watching the video now, which is absolutely incredible. Big ups to all of you. I've set a likes target of 500 for this video. If everybody who's watching right now hits the like button, we will achieve that, no problem at all. So make sure you go and do that. And we are only now two subscribers away, from 25,700. So anybody who's watching today's video who isn't subscribed, please go and do that. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free. Make sure you get involved here on Daily Red Devil. Okay, let's move on from Harry Maguire, though. Let's talk a little bit about Erik ten Hag, because it's impossible for me not to react to the news that Erik ten Hag has had his contract extended. Now, I want you to really focus on the words I'm using here, okay? Erik ten Hag has not signed a new contract. He has extended his current contract. This extra year was already an option in his current deal. He's not got a new contract. He's not negotiated fresh terms. He keeps his title and he keeps his transfer veto. So for this summer, Erik ten Hag will call the shots on who we sign. And you know what? I actually think that this is almost bad for Erik ten Hag, to be honest with you, because they're not backing him at all. If I'm telling you now for a fact, right? If we lose like a few games in a row, if we get beaten badly by Bournemouth or someone at home again, I reckon he'll be sacked. I genuinely think that, because backing him would be giving him a new contract, a 3-4 year deal. But all they've done is just exercise the option for one extra year. And I know a lot of people aren't looking at it this way. I've had some people comment on my videos agreeing with me, but others are like, oh, he's got a new contract. He's not got a new contract. They've just extended it by 1 year. It's the same terms, the same wages, the same roles, the same responsibility. Everything's exactly the same. So all that's changed is he's got his 1 year, which is next season, and then the extra year has been acted. And he'll still get the veto on the transfers. That's been confirmed. He'll still have final say. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. I still do have this horrible feeling that INEOS have got something up their sleeves, that they're maybe looking at. It won't be Gareth Southgate. Definitely not. There is no way on earth Man United will employ Gareth Southgate. There'll be protests. There'll be riots outside Old Trafford if Gareth Southgate was ever the Man United manager after the absolute disgraceful performances England have put in at the latest Euros. But it does still worry me a little bit. It doesn't make me feel 100% at ease. But at the same time, if Erik ten Hag does well next season, I'm sure he will get a new contract. So there's two ways you can look at it. Did Erik ten Hag deserve a 4 or 5 year contract? A new one? Probably not. Is this 2 year contract situation probably fair? I think it is, being honest. But my worry is that I don't think INEOS actually want to keep Erik ten Hag for 2 years. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just have this horrible feeling that if we have a couple of bad results, they'll sack him. But this is just an opinion. I just don't understand why they wouldn't have given him a new contract for 3-4 years if they actually wanted him to stay. But then looking at it the other side, maybe Erik ten Hag said, let's just do a 2 year contract. Let's see how I get on. If I do well next season, maybe we can look at doing a new contract. Like, we don't know the ins and outs of the situation, but obviously we all thought that Erik ten Hag would be signing a brand new contract. And the reality of the matter is, all he's done is just had the 1 year extension that was in the contract he signed with the Glazers exercised. That's all that's happened. So it's a bit of a strange situation. And I think a lot of people weren't expecting this to be the case. You had reliable journalists saying that he was going to sign a 3 or 4 year deal. You had reliable people saying that Erik ten Hag was the man for INEOS and that they were going to back him and that, he was definitely the person they want to go forward with in the project. But this whole situation doesn't make me feel like that. Whether that's right or wrong is up to you. Maybe 2 years is enough. Maybe if he flops next season, we should sack him. I don't know. Let me see what you guys think. let's have a look at, we've got a super chat coming in from V33. Thanks for your support, mate. He says, what's common with De Ligt at Ajax, Juve and Munich? I don't know. Is that a trick question? Let me know. I don't understand the question. Let me know what try and explain the question again, and I'll read it. I don't really understand the question. We've got someone called Sonny who's just saying toxic stuff. I don't really understand what you're asking me, Sonny, to be honest, mate. You're saying a businessman, you don't know how to do business. What are you even talking about? And then you're saying you're chatting rubbish. Mate, to be honest with you, I'm more than happy to just remove you from the channel. You're not making any sense. This isn't a toxic channel. Like, if you want to go and be toxic, go do it somewhere else. So if the moderators can just watch what he says, if he says anything else, just ban him. I'd rather not have toxic people in here and lose a viewer, to be honest. So yeah, unless you actually want to say something that means something. Sonny Millen doesn't even have a picture of their face, has a picture of a player as their profile. Then yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Erik ten Hag. Do you think 2 years is long enough? Do you think that this actually shows confidence in Erik ten Hag? Or do you think that it's maybe a little bit of a half-assed attempt at backing him? Let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to look at it from both sides. Okay, V33 says he won the title in his first season at each club. Okay, I get you now, mate. So what the person in the comment section is saying is that Matthijs de Ligt, in his first season at Ajax, his first season at Juventus, he won the trophy, the league title, and he's suggesting that Matthijs de Ligt will win the Premier League in his first season at Manchester United. I mean, mate, if that happens, I'll be absolutely buzzing. Like, I would love nothing more than Manchester United to win the Premier League. I can't even imagine what the emotions would be like. It's been so long. It's been like, what, over 10 years? Even when we won the FA Cup and the League Cup, like, that was such a special moment. And I know people would laugh and say the League Cup isn't even a proper trophy. It's sponsored by an energy drink that nobody even drinks. Like, I don't care. Football is about winning games. Football is about winning trophies. I don't care whether it's the League Cup, the Johnson's Paint Trophy, the Conference League. Manchester United has been built on winning trophies, and I'm always going to support my team no matter what. Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay. Let's move on from that, though. Right, let's move on from that. Let's move over to Marcus Rashford, and I want to open this part of the show up to everybody in the comment section, everybody who's watching live, and we're going to try and make this part as interactive as possible. So the question is going to be this: should Manchester United cash in on Marcus Rashford? Get your thoughts in, get your comments in the comment section, in the live chat. I'll try and read out as many as possible. Let me know what you're thinking, because the headline this evening is that apparently Manchester United, this is coming out from TNT Sports as well as a couple of other places, they are reporting that apparently Manchester United are ready to sell Marcus Rashford this summer, as well as a number of other first-team players to raise funds. Apparently Manchester United are asking for £80 million, but would be willing to compromise a lower fee. And it also says that apparently PSG are still interested. The story says that apparently Manchester United are asking for £80 million for Rashford, but they may be willing to accept nearer to 60 million following his drop in form last season. It says that now Ten Hag is staying, the club will look to cash in on players. And there is multiple different journalists this evening as well saying that apparently Erik ten Hag and Marcus Rashford have fallen out. This is coming from Manchester Evening News. This is coming from other places as well. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't surprise me at all that Marcus Rashford and Erik ten Hag have fallen out. It really, really doesn't. I think at the end of the day, right, you've got to break it down like this. Marcus Rashford was best friends with Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho fell out with Erik ten Hag. You're trying to honestly tell me that Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford don't speak to each other. Imagine if at your workplace, right, your best friend fell out with your boss, okay, or their boss, and then your boss sacked them. You're always going to have a level of resentment, aren't you? Realistically. And it doesn't seem... It can't just be a coincidence that in his first season last year, Marcus Rashford got 30 goals. When Jadon Sancho was around, the mood was happy. Ever since Jadon Sancho's gone in January, this season, the mood's just gone down and down and down with Rashford. He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. So yeah, I don't know. It's a really, really difficult one. And for me personally, I like Marcus Rashford. I think he's a very, very good player. I think he's one of the best left wingers in the world. I genuinely believe that. But the problem with Rashford is he's only the best left winger in the world, maybe 5 games a season. And I think as much as I want Marcus Rashford to succeed at Manchester United, I do just fear that his head isn't in the right place. Maybe he's got stuff going on off the pitch. We don't know. Like, none of us know what's going on in Marcus Rashford's head. It's so easy for me or you to sit there and say, get rid of Rashford, he's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. But that's looking at things in a too simplistic way. We should really be backing our players, right? And what I'm going to say now is actually in some ways backing Marcus Rashford in a strange way. And hear me out here, okay? Maybe the best thing for Marcus Rashford, for his mental health, for his well-being, and all the rest of it, is for him to have a fresh start somewhere else. That's not me sat here calling him names, saying, get him out of my club, he's a disgrace, he's robbing a living. I'm not going to say any of that stuff on this channel. I'm not, because this isn't a toxic channel. I'm not going to single out a player. This is a place where we have conversation. I'm going to try and look at things level-headedly and come to a realistic reason for why we're in that position. The question that Manchester United will be asking themselves is this: is the relationship with Rashford and Erik ten Hag in a good place? And I think the answer is probably no. Does Marcus Rashford feel respected and wanted by the Manchester United fans? Probably no. Does Marcus Rashford feel motivated to put that shirt on and every single game give 150%? Probably no. And all of those things, when you piece them together, probably point in the direction of Rashford leaving. And I'll be honest with you, right? Marcus Rashford will go to another club and he will probably do amazing. And people will say, Erik ten Hag's not a good manager. He should have got more out of Rashford. He's a disgrace. Like, you can already see the headlines being written somewhere. I have absolutely no doubts that Rashford will go somewhere else and perform and probably do as well as he did last season. If he went to PSG, he probably would get 30 goals next season. He'd be back in the England team. Everyone would be saying, why did we sell Rashford? Blah, blah, blah. People would blame Erik ten Hag. And all of the people who are calling him names and saying get rid of him will be quickly backtracking on their opinions. So I'm just trying to look at it in a different way. I think the best thing for everybody at the moment is for Marcus Rashford to be moved on, for him to be sold. That would be my response. But obviously, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Would you like Marcus Rashford to stay at Manchester United? Do you think he should be sold? I'm going to get a poll going now really quickly. Let me just set that up. Let's do this. Should Marcus Rashford leave United to reignite his career? I've worded this in a slightly different way because I think it's a little bit simplistic to say, sell him, sell him. So the question is this: should Marcus Rashford leave Manchester United to reignite his career? That's a positive way of asking it. It's not like, is he overpaid? Should we get rid of him? It's more looking at it in a better way. So I hope people appreciate my approach to things. I'm not trying to attack a player. I'm not trying to, be toxic, because I just don't see the point in that. We all support Manchester United. We want nothing more than our players to do well. That's the priority. And I think everyone would agree here. But yeah, if you look at it on the flip side, some people should say that if Erik ten Hag is a good manager, he should get Marcus Rashford playing like he was before. He should be able to motivate Marcus Rashford. He should get him scoring 30 goals again. That's the argument that you could present in this conversation. And some people might think that, but I just think it's gone past that point now. The fans have turned against him. I went to a game, like one of the last games of the season, and I was talking to loads of different fans, match-going fans, people who go every single game with season tickets. I was talking to people who worked at the ground, people who, there was a guy I was talking to who worked at Old Trafford, and he said he'd worked there for 30 years. He'd seen everything, he was in his 60s or 70s, and he was saying, Rashford has to go. Somebody who literally works for Manchester United at Old Trafford. So it's not just internet fans, as people call us, who want Rashford gone. It's actually, Manchester born and bred people who work at the club, and it seems to be the general consensus. So we'll wait and see what happens with Rashford, but I think probably the best option for everybody would be to move him on. But we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Obviously, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We've got 800 people watching the show live now, which is absolutely amazing. If everyone could do me a little favour and smash a like on the video. I've set a likes target of 500 for this evening's show. We're about halfway there, so make sure you go and do that if you haven't already. And we are now only 2 subscribers away from 25,700. So if everybody who's watching who isn't subscribed could go and subscribe right now, we will hit that by the end of the video, and you will make me a very happy man. So why not? It's free content, doesn't cost you any money. If you like the content, like the video and subscribe. If you don't like the content, then that's fine. No problem at all. Okay, let's move on from that, though. So we spoke about Rashford. We spoke about Harry Maguire. We spoke about Erik ten Hag, of course. Don't be worried about getting your comments in. Just let me know throughout the video if there's anything you want to, add to the conversation. And the next topic I've got for you is about Matthijs de Ligt. And this is coming out from Christian Falk, who is, of course, a very reliable journalist based in Germany. He is a tier 1 journalist for Bayern Munich. He reports for Sport Bild and a couple of other places. Very, very reliable around the Bundesliga. Very reliable around Bayern Munich. He's more reliable on the Bayern Munich and the Bundesliga than like a Fabrizio or a David Ornstein or any of those. He's like the best Bundesliga journalist. But he is reporting this evening that apparently Matthijs de Ligt has come to terms with the fact that Bayern Munich want to sell him. He only wants Manchester United. And he says that apparently PSG have tried to hijack the Matthijs de Ligt deal. And the player has told PSG and told Bayern Munich that he only wants to join Manchester United. He doesn't want to go to PSG. There was a story floating around on Twitter earlier saying that apparently Liverpool were rejected, but apparently that's fake. So I went and watched the video. I translated it. The true quote is that apparently he only wants PSG. Sorry, I got it twisted there. He only wants Manchester United, and he has rejected an approach from PSG. That's exactly what we want, isn't it? Like, we want players who want to come to this club. We want players who are excited about the project. PSG are in the Champions League. PSG will probably offered him more money, but he doesn't want to go there. He wants to come and play for Erik ten Hag. He wants to be part of this Manchester United team. He's already spoken to Erik ten Hag, okay? And Erik ten Hag has, told him about the project, told him about his role. And this is what we want. I'm sick of the days of Manchester United convincing players to come to the club by giving them stupid amounts of money. We've done it so many times in the past. Di Maria is a prime example. Di Maria never wanted to come to Manchester United. We all know that. Not a hope in hell. We gave him a stupid contract, he joined. Alexis Sanchez never wanted to come to Manchester United. We offer him 500 grand a week, he comes. A prime example. Whereas Matthijs de Ligt is here rejecting PSG, who can offer him Champions League football, and he's also willing to take a pay cut. He's willing to be paid about 200 grand a week versus his 300 grand a week current salary at Bayern Munich. I mean, could we ask for anything more from a player? Obviously, I hope he comes in and does well. I hope he succeeds. We'll obviously be, monitoring him on how he performs on the pitch. But based on mentality, is there anything more that we could ask for Matthijs de Ligt? Let me know. Because for me, he ticks all the boxes. He's worked under Erik ten Hag. He's performed well under Erik ten Hag. He was part of that Ajax team that got to the semi-final of the Champions League, beating Real Madrid. He has rejected PSG. Like, what more could you want? Obviously, I hope he comes and does well. I hope he doesn't flop. But yeah, I'm really, really happy about this. And the news I was given earlier today is that apparently they expect this deal to be concluded within the next week. Apparently, they're waiting until the Euros is over. I'm not too sure why. There is some breaking news coming out in the literally whilst we're live, so I will react to that right now. Apparently, where is it? Let me just read it quickly. Yeah, so apparently Manchester United have appointed Rene Haak as one of the assistant managers. I've got a direct quote here from Rene Haak. Obviously, he was the manager of Go Ahead Eagles in the Eredivisie. His most notable achievement was getting a team who finished pretty much at the bottom half of the Eredivisie every season. He got them into Europe a couple of years ago. So he's done a really, really good job there. And this is a direct quote Quote from Rene Hark. He says, I am grateful to Erik ten Hag for this opportunity, but it is not about us knowing each other. We just have to do good work. Erik has a role in mind for me. We discussed that. As in any staff, all tasks are divided amongst assistants. So yeah, Rene Hark is joining the team. We are expecting Ruud van Nistelrooy to be announced in the next 24 hours. So we should hopefully be able to bring you that story very, very soon. Obviously, I'm waiting for it to be fully confirmed. I don't want to make a video saying Ruud van Nistelrooy has joined until he has 100%. But my expectation, what I've been told from multiple different people, is that apparently Ruud van Nistelrooy will be announced very, very soon. He's rejected Burnley. He's rejected Club Bruges. He was going to be the manager at those two clubs as well. This is another example, right? Just like De Ligt, could we ask for anything more than Ruud van Nistelrooy? He has been offered the job as the Burnley manager. He said no. He's been offered the job as the Club Bruges manager, who I believe are in the Europa League or even the Champions League. He said no. He wants to come to Manchester United, right? And he's willing to be the assistant manager. Now, there were some people earlier on today, right? Now, this is a little bit of a conversation to have with you all. Some people were saying to me, can you really... They were effectively saying that they think that Ruud van Nistelrooy is coming to Manchester United because they think that if Erik ten Hag is sacked, Ruud van Nistelrooy would become the manager. Now, obviously, this is just a conspiracy. You know what people are like. Obviously, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I wanted to see what you guys think about that. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy is rejecting the manager job at Burnley, rejecting the manager job at Club Bruges? Because in the back of his head, he thinks, if Erik ten Hag doesn't work, maybe he gets the opportunity to become the manager. I personally don't believe that, to be honest. Like, I think if they sack Erik ten Hag in the future, they won't give Ruud van Nistelrooy the job. Like, why would they do that? Ruud van Nistelrooy will be part of Erik ten Hag's team. And if Erik ten Hag's team fails, that means Ruud van Nistelrooy fails. So I thought I would bring it past everybody just to see what people thought. I personally think that it's, yeah, that isn't why he's coming. But it'll be interesting to see what other people think. You know, let me know in the comment section. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy is only coming because he thinks Erik ten Hag will be sacked, and that means that he will get the opportunity to become the Manchester United manager? I say no, but obviously you are more than welcome to have your opinion. Let me just have a little sip of my water as my throat is getting very dry. Whilst I do that, we're about 200 likes away from our likes target, everybody. And we've got over 800 people watching now, which is absolutely incredible. Please give the video a like. We're one subscriber away from 25,700 as well. So please like and subscribe just whilst I have a sip of my water. Okay, the water has been dealt with. Let's move on with the rest of the show. Oh, God. I probably shouldn't drink fizzy water whilst I'm live because it's obviously quite gassy. So hopefully my... Okay, let's move on from that. Not enough talk about fizzy water. I wanted to quickly touch on Mason Greenwood before we end today's video. Apparently, Manchester United have received a new offer in the last few hours for Mason Greenwood. This is from Lazio. Apparently, they've offered 25 million euros, which is about 20 million pounds. Apparently, Manchester United have said to all clubs that they want a deal completed for Greenwood by July the 8th, which is Monday. The reason for this is Manchester United are due back in training this coming Monday. So if we haven't done something with Greenwood and Sancho by Monday, they will be back at Carrington and they will be part of some sort of training. Whether that's first team training, whether that's with the under-21s, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But effectively, Manchester United have said to interested parties, if you want to sign Mason Greenwood, we need to do a deal by Monday. Is that realistic? I think it is. You know, we know that teams have been negotiating with Manchester United for a while over Mason Greenwood. We know that apparently Mason Greenwood has said yes to Lazio. He's agreed personal terms. He wants to go to Italy. That's his desire. But it all depends whether Manchester United get the money they want. I've been told that there is an understanding between the two clubs that this deal will happen. They're just trying to iron out the transfer fee. But Manchester United have no intention of bringing Mason Greenwood back. Okay? He's not going to come back to Manchester United. I know this is going to upset some people. There'll be people in the comments saying it's a disgrace. I want him back. That's fine. But effectively, it's not up to me or you, is it? It's up to Manchester United. It's up to INEOS. They've made their decision. and Mason Greenwood will be sold. It's just for how much money? That's the question. Just to give you the whole picture as well, apparently Marseille have offered 20 million euros as well in the last few hours. So there is a bit of a bidding war going on for Mason Greenwood. The current highest offer is 25 million euros, which I think is a little bit low. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. I think if we could get about 30 million pounds for Greenwood, plus some sort of sell-on bonus, I would be happy with that. Because the thing you have to remember is, right, Mason Greenwood will be classed as 100% profit on our books. So it will really help our financial situation going forward. The same as Marcus Rashford, the same as Scott McTominay. All three of those players, if we were to sell them this summer, would massively improve our financial fair play situation because, as I said, it's 100% profit. And honestly, like, the sky would be the limit if we were able to do that. Okay, the next story I've got for you is on Victor Osimhen. Now, I know most people are probably going to say, why the hell are we talking about Osimhen? But he has been linked to Manchester United. There was a story going around yesterday, which I didn't even bother reacting to, but there was a story going around yesterday that apparently Manchester United wanted to swap Rasmus Højlund for Victor Osimhen. I mean, where do people come up with these stories? In what world would Manchester United or Napoli be willing to do that trade? Why would Napoli swap Osimhen for Højlund? And why would Manchester United swap Højlund for Osimhen when we've only just signed him? Like, it's just not realistic. But apparently Manchester United are still interested in Victor Osimhen. That's the story this evening. He's got a release clause of £110 million, which is, let's be honest, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with Victor Osimhen. Apparently Chelsea are interested in him as well. It's definitely one to keep an eye on, but yeah, we know that Manchester United have a long-standing interest in Victor Osimhen, and the Manchester Evening News this evening are saying that apparently there is interest from Chelsea, Manchester United and Arsenal. But I'll be honest, I don't think it will go past the interested stage for Manchester United because £110 million release clause is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. Do you know what as well, right? Victor Osimhen only scored 15 goals last season and they want 110 million. I'm sorry, there is no way on earth that he's worth that. He scored 15 goals in the Serie A. Mental. Boris says, do you think we could swap Osimhen with Sancho? I don't know why they would. We've got another super chat coming in from V33. Thanks for your support, mate. He says, in a short space of time, Ronaldo, Pogba, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, all superstars have all gone to waste. It is alarming. By the way, De Ligt rejected Liverpool too. Yeah, it is alarming. And I think, to be honest with you, we can only look at ourselves for that. Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Rashford, Pogba and Ronaldo all didn't really perform at Manchester United, did they? To be honest. Rashford has, I think, at times. But the other four, I agree, have had problems. And we have to look at ourselves a bit. We can't always blame the players. You know, like, why did we sign Ronaldo if he isn't able to press anymore? Like, why did we do that? If we wanted to play in a pressing system, why did we sign Ronaldo? You know, we have to look at the people at the top and work out why they made these decisions. And most of the time, when you look at those players that you've just listed, Ronaldo, marketing asset, Pogba, marketing asset, Sancho, marketing asset, and then Greenwood and Rashford, again, Rashford's probably going to stay because he's a marketing asset. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, a lot of the time, we focus on shirt sales, we focus on potential brand deals. That's the focus. And that's what needs to change for Manchester United going forward. We need to really, really focus on what's actually better for the club, what's going to improve our playing style, and what's going to effectively win us trophies. Not how many subscribers on Instagram we're going to get from them, not how many likes on Facebook. You know, that's what needs to change. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. I don't think we'll go for Osimhen, though. I think it's all good and well us being interested, but the likelihood of us signing Osimhen is probably 1%. I think. But obviously it's a news show. I always bring you the news. We have a chat about it. And yeah, we can obviously wait and see what happens from there. But yeah, just to be clear, I know somebody before said about Liverpool, De Ligt rejecting Liverpool. That is apparently fake. That's not true. De Ligt hasn't rejected Liverpool. It was somebody put it on Twitter and then other people started retweeting it and it's not actually true. So yeah, just so everybody's aware, De Ligt has not rejected Liverpool. That's been confirmed by multiple different people. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Okay, let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat quickly before we wrap up the video. We're only one subscriber away from 57,700. No, I've said that wrong. 25,700. I'm getting ahead of myself. There must be someone out there who's not subscribed. If that is you, please do subscribe. Let's hit that next target so I can stop asking you and we can all live a happily ever after. Okay. Right, I'm going to read out a couple of your comments quickly for the last 5 minutes of the show. Let's see what people are saying this evening. Romano says, Rashford is supposed to be a footballer, not a marketing asset. Maybe he should be loaned to Adidas, Nike or Puma. I agree with you, mate, but that's just the way that football is now. Football's about money. Football's about likes on Instagram. It's about TikTok. It's about how many shirts you can sell. That's just as important to the owners of football clubs as the football. And that's just how it is. And I know a lot of people who've stopped watching football because they just don't enjoy it anymore. They just don't like the like celebrity status of the players. The fact that somebody like Rashford can go a whole season playing terribly and the club will probably keep him because they want to, you know, sell shirts. They want to get likes. They want to utilize his brand. Like, you know? Yeah. Ryan says, I'm currently watching from the beginning, but I just want to say you're a legend. Thank you for your support, mate. I really, really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Thomas says, what do you think will happen to Donny van de Beek? In relation to Donny van de Beek, there was a story earlier on today from Samuel Luckhurst at the Manchester Evening News saying that apparently Manchester United are now actively trying to sell Donny van de Beek, but there's an issue. Nobody wants to pay his wages. Manchester United aren't willing to let him go for free. I mean, the fact that we're even having to consider letting Donny van de Beek go for free is just mad, isn't it? He's got 1 year left of his contract, Donny van de Beek. He'll be available as a free agent next summer. Nobody wants to sign him. Nobody wants to pay his wages. The only option or way of getting rid of Donny van de Beek is by letting him leave as a free agent. That's crazy, isn't it? That's another player that we brought in who was regarded as, you know, one of the best new exciting names in the central midfield position. He's come to Manchester United at the age of 21, 22, and his career's been completely ruined. Obviously, some of that's his own fault, but yeah. Romano says, do you know if Ashworth has started yet? Yes, he has. Ashworth has started work. That's been confirmed. I think his first day was yesterday. So yeah, Dan Ashworth has started at Manchester United. So that's really positive. And also the new, is it technical director? I can't remember the guy's name. I'd not heard of him before yesterday, to be honest. He is the director of global talent, Christopher Vivell. So we've got a couple of people in the door. Dan Ashworth and Christopher Vivell will be kind of handling all of the transfers this summer, which is obviously really, really good. Cool Gamer Boy says, is there any news on Ugarte? No, Ugarte's gone very quiet, mate. Very, very quiet. I'll keep you updated on that as and when I get more news, but at the moment it is extremely quiet on the Ugarte to Manchester United deal. Neil says, Rashford performed on a personal level. He just didn't fit in our style of play and actually ruined our play. I'm not sure if you could say he performed on a personal level last season. I don't know. I don't really agree with that, but obviously everyone to their own. Like, yeah, I don't think you can say Rashford performed last season. He didn't. But maybe he did. You know, maybe, you know, stats-wise, maybe he did perform. Who knows? What else have we got? Romano says deals should happen now. Yeah, now that Dan Ashworth's through the door and this other head of global recruitment's through the door, we should be seeing deals this week, next week, realistically. Like, there's no excuses now. The people are in place and effectively they need to do what they've been paid for. So, yeah, I am hopeful that in the next kind of week or two, we should see some movement in the transfer window, both in outgoings and ingoings. I think player sales this summer are just as important as signings, because the thing you have to remember is, right, if we manage to sell players, that will allow us financially to buy players. It's like a domino effect, isn't it? If, say, Scott McTominay leaves for 40 million, we can then go and sign someone for 40 million. If Marcus Rashford leaves for 80 million, we can then go and sign someone for 80 million. Do you see where I'm going with this? If Maguire goes, we can then, like, same with Casemiro, etc. So this summer, I'm going to be judging Dan Ashworth just as much on how many players are sold as how many players are signed. And I think we all should look at it like that. We shouldn't just obsess about signings. we should be also obsessing about players that are leaving, because that's been the problem over the last decade. And if Dan Ashworth can come in and rectify that, he would demand a lot of respect from us, because no person before this has managed to do that. No one. Ed Woodward didn't. John Murtagh didn't. None of them did. Gominda says, have you got any updates on Rabiot? In relation to Rabiot, apparently Manchester United have offered him a 3-year contract. I don't know what the wages are. His wages at Juventus are 150k a week at the moment, so I imagine it will probably be 200 to 250, something around that kind of figure. His mum, his agent, apparently is going to demand a massive signing on fee. So yeah, but there are lots of clubs interested in Adrien Rabiot, loads of clubs. Juventus still want to keep him and have offered him a new deal. So it's one to keep an eye on. Manchester United are in the race for Adrien Rabiot, but I don't imagine we'll get an answer until after the Euros, which is, I think, the finals next week. So yeah, we'll have to kind of hang tight on that one. I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. It's been an absolutely amazing show this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure to smash a like on the video before you leave. It really helps to bring more people into the channel. It will allow us to do bigger and better things in the future. The content is completely free. It doesn't cost any money. So if you have enjoyed today's show, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel as well. I'm live every single day at 8:30 a.m, 1:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. So if you want to keep up to date with all of your latest Man United news, if you want to get involved in conversation, this is a non-toxic channel. Anybody who's toxic, I just ban. I don't care about one viewer being lost. I'm not that bothered. I'd rather remove them. So yeah, if you enjoyed the show today, make sure you subscribe. And join me for the show tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. UK time. Have a great evening, everybody. I'll speak to you all later. Bye for now.